Alright, we got a game. Let's get right into it. 3 Master 1s. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Not sure where our pair is yet. There's potential for the Chanta. It's possible, but we kind of need a pair still. Sanshoku doesn't seem very possible at all. Okay. At this point, I guess we drop the south because it's one square. The nice thing about, or the reason why we can't do Sanshoku is because the 3 is Dora. And if, well, actually, maybe that Sanshoku is okay. Right, the bottom Sanshoku is possible, but the top Sanshoku, the 7, 8, 9, is kind of not possible because then we'd need to either drop the 3 or use it as a pair, both of which seem kind of unrealistic. Now we're Ishanten. Do we take it? Probably. Yeah. I'll drop the 2, lose the bottom Sanshoku, and well, if we can get Riichi plus 1 Dora, that's perfectly fine as well. If we can pair up the, what's it called? We can pair up the 9 Pin. What? 9 man. We can pair up the 9 man to maybe get the Junchan as well. We'll see. The problem is that 2 Pin, or sorry, not 2 Pin, 8 man is not really that great of a weight, considering it will be very hard for us to cheat. Seeing that the dealer looks like they probably want a lot of Mansu. That being said, we do see 3... What's his faces? This one's interesting. Now we have potential for the 79 Sanshoku, actually. So what if we drop the 1? Because now the pair is the 7s, right? So what we can do is drop the 1, and if we get the 9, we can do Sanshoku. If we pair up the 3, we can just do 2 Dora, which is basically the same value. That being said, our acceptance for the 8 man is getting worse and worse. I'm not sure even if there's any more of that left, which is a bit of a problem. Here, you could consider dropping the 7-9 here. I don't really feel like it. That being said, if we do this, then we are sort of stuck having to drop the 3 upon getting tenpai, which seems kind of difficult to do. Now we are stuck with this 5, which is very bad as well. So, well, when in doubt, just get out of here, I guess. Not really sure the best way to do it, but 9 should be pretty safe. Yeah, since we kind of have to push dangerous towels in order to get tenpai, I don't really feel like trying any harder. Well, since we have to push dangerous towels when we're not even tenpai, I should say, I just didn't really feel like trying any harder to get this hand to win. We did end up drawing the 9 pin, but don't really matter. We were already holding, so, you know. So be it. This is too bad. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped that. Maybe I should have dropped the 3 instead. Oops. Yeah, the 3 was probably better, because the 2 didn't pass this guy, and it was probably actually pretty dangerous. So luckily we didn't deal in with that. But yeah, gotta not be sloppy. Next up is 3 though. Right. 9 passes. And yeah, I guess we drop the 9 now. What else can we drop? 8, so I guess. Okay. Player across of us. Player across us. Get the sumo win. That's perfectly fine. Alright. Ooh boy. Mahjong is hard. Next, we are a dealer in East 2. With a hand of all time. That's a decent hand. Not really sure where our value is, but, well, we've got shapes. We can potentially call for Taiyo. Now, calling for Taiyo with bad shapes and no value is kind of bad, but, well, we'll see how it pans out. Now we've got potential for good shapes, right? We finished our Kanchan. As long as we find another block somewhere else, we'll be in pretty good shape. The worst shape right now is the Champon on the 4 and the 8, but this 4 has a pretty good chance of improving to a 2-sided weight, and can also accept the door potentially, so yeah, this hand's got promise. The question is whether we keep this 1 or the East, and well, when in doubt, drop the Honor, but I'm just going to keep the Honor, I suppose. If we do pair it up, we can potentially get 2 Han, which is kind of nice, especially if we get the 3rd Han by drawing the door over here. And well, even if we draw the 2, you know, it's a bad shape, and if we draw the 3, it does give us a Kanchan over here. The Ankan shape, the 1-3-5, right? Well, whatever. It's fine. It's getting to the 2nd row, so we would like to either advance our hand or potentially shore up on defense, but we're not really sure how that's going to work just yet. This 2 is pretty useless. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and drop it. The player to our right looks the fastest out of all of our opponents, but, well, we're not really sure how exactly to defend against them just yet, so whatever. There's not really a way for us to take safe tiles against them. Okay, we've finally got 5 blocks. Now is the real question. Is it time to get rid of these numbers? Probably. Which one's more dangerous? They're both pretty dangerous, but I'll go ahead and drop the 9 because it's not Dino, I suppose. So yeah. At this point, our shape is kind of, well, it's pretty bad, I should say. Considering it's already turned 10. We're not even each on 10. But well, there's no threat on the board yet, so we're gonna go ahead and drop these 2 tiles. If a threat does come on the board, then we'll be in a bit of trouble. But we should be fine for now. This 7 could potentially give us the Sanchoku, but I don't really think that exists. It's already way too late for that. And so we're just going to go ahead and drop it while it's safe. That being said, this East is out. Oh, no, never mind. They did drop the East, so the East should be pretty safe. Red. Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop it now. If no one's called it the previous turn, then the red should be pretty safe. As for calling, I guess we'll call for each on 10. Never mind. Now we can call for tenpai. As long as we don't have to push anything dangerous. The only thing is, though, that if there's no threat on the board, there's nothing that's dangerous, right? And as for, you know, threats on the board, well, yeah, no one's called Ricci, although we don't see any of the Dora. That's a little scary. Here, we'll just call Pong. 8 is Suji. There's a threat on the board now. Ricci, right? Ricci is a bona fide threat. So if we draw something dangerous, we'll go ahead and hold a horse. But well, we didn't draw anything dangerous, so it was alright. Anyways, we are 2nd place, yeah, going into East 3. So if we win something here, we will be 2nd place going into All Last, which is a great place to be. Meaning that it's probably a great idea to try and win this hand, especially since we've got 2 Dora. If we pull in the Dora, then of course everything will be super duper groovy. Mangan. If we win that, we'll be in 1st. As for what we're gonna call, we're probably gonna call everything. Cheeing the 3 pin is kind of like the worst one to call though, right? Because then yeah, cheeing this shape away, or this shape away, just losing our ability to pull for tenpai. Sorry, not pull for tenpai. Losing our ability to use this 3-3-4 shape as a Liaomin is kind of sad. But well, either way, we are each on 10. Obviously, we'll pull for tenpai. We'll take tenpai in any way we can get, actually. As long as we have Yaku, that is. Okay. Now we need to make a decision. Which Liaomin do we take? Because I'm going to be dropping from one of these lemons, I think. I think we're going to drop this 3 because we see one of the 2s. We don't see any of the 2 or the 5 mons, so there's one more tile around over here. The reason why we're doing this is so that we can pull anything for tenpai. I think that's okay. Maybe that was bad. Are we tripping? No, I don't think so. Right, because now we can chi the 2-5 for tenpai. It's Richi. Yeah, probably. Yeah, so if we kept the 3, we would be able to reach on the 2-5. But now we are reaching on the Dora Shampoo, which is actually kind of... Yeah, maybe this is just really bad. Because the thing is, I mean, the Dora Shampoo is not so great of a weight. And if we have to call wait a second, no. If we don't want to call Richi in the first place, then of course we're gonna have to do this, because then we can wait on the Dora any way we get into tenpai, right, by having the 3 pairs. So dropping the 3 over there allows us to take Dama tenpai on the north, as long as we draw into tenpai. What I'm trying to get at here is that if you don't want to call Richi, which here, yeah, we might not want to call Richi, we did it anyways, then dropping the 3 is a good idea. In the end, we did call Richi, and it's like, well, okay, fine. Apparently we won, which is great, but yeah, the calling the Richi and risking falling to 4th is potentially something that you might want to avoid. Again, we Richi'd anyways, and now we're in 1st place, so it's all groovy, but, you know, you gotta reflect on your decisions. Okay, we can reflect on those later, though. At this point, well, we've got 1, 2, 3 blocks. Probably we should be careful for defense, because with this, what's it called? With this point situation, we don't really need to win the hand. Especially considering that the player to our right in 2nd place needs a Mangan Sumo at least in order to get out of our 1st place. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and drop these edge numbers and all that. Keep the honors for safety. We already have 5 blocks actually, so there really isn't that much of a reason to keep these floating numbers anymore. Like, yeah, they can help us improve our shape or something like that, but whatever. We can cheat this if we want. Yeah, sure. Then the question is, do you drop the 4 or do you drop the white? I think either is possible. When in doubt, here I'll lean a bit safer. We've got 3 honors that we can drop relatively safely to get into tenpai. Sorry, not to get into tenpai, but in order to fold. There's also, of course, the west if we don't end up pawning it. Here, there's this chi. I don't think we're gonna chi this. Okay. For the time being, I guess we'll drop the white. The dealer has opened, which means that we are a little bit less... there's less of a necessity for us to be like super high on guard and keep a bunch of safe tiles to defend against them. Because number 1, they're kind of cheap. Number 2, we might be able to see more information in terms of their safety zones, danger zones. Because of their calls. In other words, it's easier to fold against a player that is open than a player that is closed, because we get the information from the tiles that they've called and all that. Meaning that keeping those honors is not as important. That being said, I mean, here, I'm not really sure what information we are getting from their discards, so, well, for the time being, just drop the honors. Chillax. If we can find out a way to deal into... Can we drop this? If we can find out a way we can deal into the player to the left, that would be pretty nice as well, considering that there's a very, very low chance that they have enough points to surpass us. Wow. Okay. That is expensive. But fine. It is East 4 again. Again, as long as we win, we will get first place. But there are plenty of ways for us to not win and also get first place, so, you know, you don't need to win the hand necessarily. That being said, since the dealer is sort of threatening our first place now, I kind of want to push a little bit more. I want to be a bit more aggressive over here. Not really sure how that's going to look, but, well, for the time being, we'll build our hand. Drop the weakest floater over there. Now that we've made a sequence over here, I guess we can drop the 2. This 2 so is also kind of weak, considering that the 1 is most likely going to be our pair. Yeah, so we're probably going to drop it now. Boop. Looking for a 5th block, basically. If we draw the 8, so we get a 2-side weight over here. If we draw the 17, we get a 2-side weight over here. If we draw the 4, we get a 2-side weight over here. Or the 6, we can get a better Kutsuki shape, consecutive shape, right? That can allow us to make a 2-sided weight in 4 different kinds of ways. This one is kind of not so great because we have the 2 in our discards, so I guess we'll just go ahead and drop it. Even if we attach something around the 4, there's a potential chance that we get into 310. That's not bad at all. Maybe I should have just dropped the 9. I didn't realize that there were 2 8-sos gone already. Yeah, probably should have just kept the 1 instead of the 9, so that was a bit of an awkward play. But well. We should also keep an eye out, since it's getting pretty late, on the possibility that we can feed the player to our right. It is possible that they have enough to overtake us, but, well, for the time being, I guess we'll drop this 5. Pretend to feed them. We're also in Ishanten, so, you know, just dropping the more dangerous floater before it deals in. If they end up calling, then all the better for us. Here, I guess we'll go ahead and drop the 8 in. Again, dropping it before it gets dangerous to the dealer. Not really sure what the right hand player has over here. And now we have this East in our hand. I think if the East deals in, there's a good chance that we lose our first place and might even lower down to 3rd. Drop down to 3rd. So we're going to stop on it. Now that they've dropped the 8-7 from their hand, what is that? I don't really know. I'm not sure if I should be dropping this 5 mana at this point, to be honest. This discard pool looks very sus. I don't know what's going on. And if we're not willing to drop the East anymore, then there's not really a point in pushing this Ishanten, because it's not Ishanten, right? There's East that we can't drop. Even when we draw tenpai, we can't turn this into tenpai without dropping the East that we can't drop. In other words, this is not Ishanten. Fake. It is fake. And that also means that pushing is probably not a good idea because, well, yeah, you're not supposed to push from if you're not tenpai. You're super not supposed to push if you're Ishanten. And you're super duper not supposed to push if you're even worse than that. Right now, this hand is worse than that. However, we have evolved to Ishanten after the East has dropped. But okay. Fine. We ended up not needing to drop the East, and we ended up getting first place anyways. So, yay, I guess? Man, this game is so sloppy. But fine. We end up getting first, and that is great. See you guys next time.